Same thing happens if you're lawful good. Like, things are trying to kill you no matter what.
Lawful good seems to be just... Lawful good and chaotic evil are just... Not restrictive... Well, lawful good's restrictive, but it's like... Chaotic evil, to me, just seems like it's going to get boring really quickly.
I had fun with Logan Price, and he's the most chaotic evil character I've ever made.
Yeah, but... You also just have a very fun time just murdering things, while I'm more like...
I'm not like Prescott. I'm not just a murder hobo.
You literally went around blowing up gas stations.
Yeah, but that's Logan Price. That is the murder hobo. That was the chaotic evil character.
Yeah, and you know what I did? I fucking was more patient and had to...
Yeah, you weren't really as chaotic evil.
I was more chaotic neutral.
Yeah, so... My character was chaotic evil, and I had a blast.
Yeah, you just enjoy murdering people, depending on the, like, character. I feel like... You, as a person, are more chaotic, evil type of character playthrough that you're trying to get to. But Logan Price was a fun-ass character to get to.
Yeah, I really like Logan.
I enjoyed, like, how much Ronald and you had, like, pretty much in common. You fucking tortured that poor man and made him, like, go PTSD for several game sessions until we stopped playing that.
Made him a drug addict.
No, you reformed his drug addiction.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, he still was doing drugs, just not like that. I'm not... he never really clarified that.
Full blown... Like, he used to be like a drug dealer type character or something, but then...
Can we just talk about how the first place we spent the night at literally crumpled down around us as we left it? Like, we closed the door and just... I remember that.
The modern campaign was fantastic.
Yeah. I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
And this is Critical Failure. So, you caught us in the middle of a thing. Mostly because I hit fucking record. But we are discussing our favorite campaigns that we wish we can easily continue. Our modern campaign being one of them, in which he was Logan Price and my character was Karasu Korowerta. At least I feel like I'm saying that correctly. It's fucking Japanese.
And you were just like... Broken glass, and then I
really enjoyed that name.
Everyone kept drugging your name.
Was Broken Ass.
Yeah.
I became Broken Ass early in that campaign when I basically sold myself for like a night.
Yeah.
When you convinced me. You didn't even convince me. You intimidated me to put on fucking lingerie. So I'm not going to say you convinced me. That's more persuasion.
I was like, put this on.
You were like, you're going to do it. And I was like, no. And then we had to do a contested roll. And I think you beat me by a fucking landslide. Like, it was like fucking 18 to like 2 if I'm correct. And that was just natural rolls without like anything modifying. So I was just like, shit.
Yeah, and I had to run outside.
Yeah. And that's how I got sold. That was amazing. And I think the best part of that entire campaign, besides like the entire like assassination part, was when I had to go into the police station, and then and I have one right after that. I remember the reason why I enjoyed going through that police station was because my gun was broken. The lower receiver was shot because I think it was right after it was when the arms dealer man was in prison. If I'm correct.
Yeah, because you were going to go get him.
Yeah, and my gun had got shot through the lower receiver. To where like the trigger mechanism wouldn't work. That's pretty much what got shot. And we had forgotten about this, and I remembered midway going through this place that my AR-15 didn't work. But I'm killing cops like crazy in this campaign. And I eventually get to the guy, and he's like, do you have any weapons? I was like, here's this Glock. And he magically got out. But the thing is that when I was trying to describe to like as soon as we had gotten out, like when I got out of the vehicle, because it was switching between us rapidly, like very quickly too. It was like I shoot someone and then it was you blowing up a gas station and me doing that and you doing that with Ron all over again. And I tried saying that like I had like a mask on, but Prescott's like, you didn't say that. I was like, I swear to fucking God I did. Like I know I thought it, but I swear to God I said it. So it was one of those things.
You saying it? Because there's quite a bit of things that are like, oh, I thought I said that. You never said it.
Yeah, and I also would just stop fighting it because regardless of the fact if I said it or not, you guys would just actively vote against me regardless because you wanted my character dead because he would either do really funny things or really bad things. And that's how it's been the entire time we've played a game. It's this one character is just going to be stupid because, to be honest, I played stupid characters. And I didn't really start like understanding how to roleplay. More or less, I just played as me. And there was an issue.
There's just so many retarded moments. It wasn't even like, you just did something that was kind of dumb. It was like you did something that was majorly dumb.
Like when I fucking murdered an entire family because we thought the house was abandoned.
Yeah.
And then when the neighbor was like, "What's all that noise?" I was like, "Renovation?" or some shit like that. I said something really stupid, but I got lucky with it. And then I think my next favorite part was because of that, that one motherfucker at like a Cece's Pizza or some shit fucking really fucking pissed you off.
Yeah.
And you were like, "I will kill you." And that's why we broke into that house, because we could torture him. And then I dumped the car into a lake. It was fun times. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. We also, like, kidnapped a police officer there. That's where you
That
messed
was-
up, because I could disarm him and beat him up because I was a monk, but you were like a rogue and you had a gun, so you were like, bang, and I was like, you're gonna put bullet holes in the uniform that I need.
Did I shoot him?
Yeah, you shot him because we were just like, what the fuck, Fong? We
remember-
brought him here to, like, kidnap him, beat him up, and I'm pretty sure that's why we dealt with the family. And
Yeah, because he was going to be your good character, if I'm correct. Like, that was, you were going to be playing against us. On
yeah, originally that wasn't the plan, but it happened later.
You fucking let him go, because I went into the front of the store.
I didn't let him go. He just simply, somehow, magically had
a knife.
Yeah. And
Which is really funny, because we did say that we went through his entire body to make sure he had no weapons, and he was just like, he had a boot knife. How? First of all, we searched him, strip searched him.
Yeah.
But it's just like DM rules, so I was like, okay. But like, all I remember is I come back and you're on the floor bleeding profuse. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was one of the few times Logan Price actually got hurt.
You're like, that motherfucker fucking stabbed me. Didn't I shit in there? Or was it you that took a shit in there? Because like, I had a gun pointed in a specific area, and it was a very small freezer that he was in. And no matter what, if he had, like, there was no way that he could have avoided being shot. So I had the gun put in that, like, one specific area. I think it was like a tiny hole, like, for oxygen, because we drilled a hole for it. So I was like, here's the gun barrel, right? And you were like, I'm gonna take a shit. You even dare do anything, and you're gonna get fucking hurt. And he was like, I'm standing right here. Because at first he was a bitch person. Like, he did nothing out of the ordinary.
I knew, there was one point I threw, like, one of them old-ass TVs on him. They're, like, this thick. And
Yeah, you put it right on top of it so he couldn't get out.
yeah, I also threw it at him.
I
I opened up the lid and I threw it
I
at
don't
him.
remember that.
And with the holes, I poured alcohol in the holes for him. Like, here you go, buddy. And then I was like, we're going to be the best of friends.
I remember I tried...
And you fucked up. You said my character's name around him. And then he said that. And I was like, oh no. And
I forgot about that. But yeah, what's funny about that...
I had his ID and I was like, oh, so you have a wife.
Yeah, you started fucking up because I said your name. I think I said your first name only.
Yeah, you said Logan.
But the thing is that he didn't know your last name, so...
Yeah, but he knows what I look like.
Yeah,
and
it would have made it worse. But the thing is that it would have took him a little bit. You were like, oh, you have a wife. How about we go and pay them a visit? And I was like, all right, I'm going to go get his wife. I think, like, I started convincing them, and that's what had happened. Like, if I'm remembering the story correctly now. I wasn't in front of the gas station, because that was OG's place. Or whatever the guy's name. But, like, I had went over there. And then...
OG was the goat.
Yeah, OG was a goat. I forgot the Indian man's name. But, like, I remember coming back, and I was like, he's not, like, the kids and the wife aren't there. And you're like, Ugh! And I was like, where the fuck are you? You're in pain. And you're like, fuck. He stabbed me. I was like, I know in my head, I was like, thinking, how did this happen? Your fucking AC is like a goddamn 19. Like, I was metagaming a little bit in my head. And then I
think it
was
was
like,
actually a 20. I think I had 20.
And I remember I was like, my character was just like, you deserve this. You fucking threatened his family. You don't threaten a fucking man's family.
I also beat the fuck out of you before. I know.
Yeah, it was right before that, if I'm correct.
My character totally would have killed you, but I didn't want to kill you, so I just beat you.
I think you had to do the confusion roll.
That one was for, like, because we were criminals, and I was trying to, like, put us in a position of power, but then, like, you underhanded me in front of, like, important people, so I was like, if you ever do that again, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, you beat the fuck out of me. And that's why I was kind of sitting there, like, my character was like, I really should let you die. And I remember I said it out loud. I was like, I really should let you fucking die. And you're like, do what you fucking want or some shit. And I was like, and I thought in my head, see, I'm going to need this guy to, like, help me survive. I'm kind of fucked. So I just, like, start helping you. And you're like, thanks, buddy. And you start acting completely fucking different. I was like, What the fuck? I don't like this, Logan.
No, my character was just crazy. Because I didn't...
You
like,
like personality.
I just rolled the d20 to see whether or not if Logan liked or would do something.
You liked it apparently in that part. You're like, thank you, I appreciate it. Here's alcohol. I was like, and I remember you're like, just fucking chugging, and I was like, took a sip of it. Yeah.
My character also got domed. Like, I got shot in the skull earlier in that point of the campaign.
Yeah, that was
the
during
first
the House
time
of the Yellow
that I
Jackets.
actually got messed up.
Wasn't that at the House of the Yellow Jackets where you technically went unconscious? And I was just like, I'm here to save everybody! And then Ronald had to show up because I got most of the people, but then the second fucking, like, car wave came in. I was like, look, Logan, I'm gonna need you to get up, okay? Like, you're really, rolling horribly. Like, I need you really to survive here. And you're like, what? I can't hear you, I'm unconscious.
That was like, it got so bad that was a few times that I actually had to use a gun.
And when you were, what's the funny thing is that when you were using the gun, I think you never fucking hit once. You're like, bang, bang, bang. I'm at point blank range, why can't I hit you? I'm just like, look, bro. And I was like, quick scope, and I just turned around a corner quickly, like I did with this advantage from Greg. And I still fucking headshot someone, because I rolled 2 20s in a row, and I was like, fuck you, I have the precision. And you're like, how? Like, you actually got someone irritated as a fucking player, and your character's like, thank you, I'm in pain.
It's because I kept rolling really bad. Like,
if I'm correct, you were using the, this is one of the few times where the little black die was fucking us, because it has really good rolls, and then on a specific day, it's like, no. Statistically, like, we're fucking wrong, but we believe our dies have mojo.
I'm pretty sure that black die...
It really does not like me.
It generally rolls really high, though.
And then on certain days, it just really doesn't. It's either above 15 or it's way below 4.
Yeah, that's how that dice works.
It does. I remember I was, like, I think you had a motorcycle, and I had a car, and you were, like, tempted to leave me at one point at the gas station where we were stalking the CC's pizza guy. And I was just like, so how am I going to get home? You're like, you better fucking find a way. And, like, apparently, like, if I'm remembering correctly, you were like, you were going to give me a ride, but your character was just being a dick, and I couldn't figure it out. So I basically was, like, walking away, and I stole someone's car, and I was like, all right, I have a ride. And you're like, and you got pissed off as a character. You're like, what the fuck? There's cameras. I was like, hold on a minute. And then there were no cameras. I was like, there's no witnesses. And the guy started coming out. It's like, my car. I was like, what car? And I drove off. And you're like, and there's a bullet on that vehicle.
I just suddenly remembered, like, we went to Chuck E. Cheese's, I think, to get, like, the money from the one dude for one of the jobs.
That's when the Chuck E. Cheese's guy was like, I'm gonna tap that ass. And I was like, you ain't tapping shit. And then if I'm correct, I raped him. I didn't rape him. I shouldn't say that. I had sex with him. Because my character was bi in this game, too. Like, originally he wasn't. But he turned bi.
Yeah, you sold yourself, so...
Yeah, that
to, like, 3 black dudes, so...
He liked it too much. But he ended up having sex with the Chuck E. Cheese character, and he's like, here's more money. I was like, huh. And I remember killing him, and it just left his body there. Because we were in a back storage area. And that was one of those moments where it's like I had to pay back, because it was like, I killed the gnome for Roland, so I basically did the exact same thing, but finished the job for myself. And then you're like, where the fuck is, where's the Chuck E. Cheese guy? I was like, he won't be seeing him anymore. Just go. Just fucking leave. And you're like, you smell like sex. And I was like, shut up. Shut up. There was a lot of times where you're like, we were supposed to get paid equally, but you were handling the money, so you're like, 80%, 10%. Ronald, you have 10%. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's what I felt Logan would do. In the beginning of the game, I stole your wallet and I killed everyone on a bus.
I was really trying to metagame that, because I was like, this is the beginning of the game that's kind of fucked up, but there's nothing I can really do.
Yeah, I was like...
And then I find it funny, because it's like, looking back on it now, as a known hitman, or not a known hitman, but like my character was like an assassin, and like people of the world kind of knew who I was. It made sense for my character to start murdering people with you, because there's no cameras, first of all. Plus, you're already murdering people, and I'm not willing to just get shot, because you already, for some fucking reason, didn't like my character. So you're just like, I'm a fucking headshot. I was like, I'm just gonna hop on this fucking freight train before I get fucking headshotted. Because he's a monk. He'll beat my fucking ass.
It's fun.
So, like, I remember processing, I was like, that makes no sense for your character. But looking on it, kind of hindsight, it kind of does. Because my character's life is that kind of state. Because you're fucking crazy. That was not how you meant that character to go. Plus, it's like, if I didn't, my character would just end up being burned alive in the bus in the first place. Plus, it's like, I have to do what I have to do to, like, make myself survive.
Yeah.
So it's like, in hindsight, it makes sense. At the time, I couldn't find any sort of way to fucking, like, argue against that.
Yeah, Logan and the Russian Goliath are my favorite characters I've played, I think. And the half-drow.
My favorite thing...
My favorite joke with the half-drow is like, sir, I think I found my grandfather down here when I was doing the push-ups.
Yeah, like, I didn't like that campaign for the sheer fact of...
Sucked. It was boring.
It was boring, yeah, but it kept having too many hypocrisies in it, because Wesley was just like... And I don't think this was 100% Wesley's fault, it's just he kind of forgot a lot of shit. But it's like, he said one thing, and then when I did it, he went back against it, and then went back against that. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to listen to? Because at first, he told me that I knew you were the bad guy. That was
in the, like, Thieves Guild.
Yeah, but and then I basically had to get proof. And then he was like, oh, you don't know that. So I was like, so you're meaning that the first half of this campaign, I don't know this. He was like, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, he, like, the fucking sergeant or whatever was like, what the fuck? You know he's part of the Thieves Guild. You know he's a fucking bad guy. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I am confused.
I thought it was hilarious because every time you try to, like, do any questions, like, I rolled, like, beyond, like, 20s on, like, deceptions. And
What's funny is that, if I'm correct, you rolled 3 nat 20s on deception, and I had really high rolls. And I was like, have fun with this. Like, I had, like, a 24 or some shit. And you're like, nat 20, bitch. And I was like, fuck you! You fucking bitch!
Yeah, I know, because you're like, I finally beat him at this check, and I was like, no, you didn't, boy.
Yeah, I fucking hated that, which is funny, because I was playing as a core, and his name was Kerr, and I found that really cool, and I was trying to be a blood hunter, and then my other character, Zenfell, he was just like, ha. He was, if I'm correct, he was a Goliath.
Yeah, he was.
And he was like, fucking bitch, because you were just like a rank under me, and like my character was a corporal, or Zenfell was a corporal, and he's just like, he was like one of those nice, like, just beginning NCO, so he's just like, he found it really funny, and he was like fucking working it out, like in the very beginning, he was almost late for, like, getting into the line, so he's like, yeah, like 200 fucking crunches, 200 push-ups, and if I'm correct, what fucking got my character in pain was 1,000 like fucking squats, because he did it, and like around 500 he pulled a muscle and he's like, ugh! And I had to roll like a couple fucking saves just to make sure I didn't rip something, but I got him and eventually finished him, and he ran to the line sweaty as fuck, got in like the fucking parade rest, and he was just like there just as he had to, and he's just like, I'm gonna get in trouble. And then like a general or some shit walked up and he was like, where's this one fucking private? And Zenfell was just like, he's kind of looking around. He's like, oh, he's not here. He's under my command. I'm fucked. And then my character gets introduced, and he's just like, he was basically Shikamaru, which is how I was trying to play him. He's just like, I really don't want to be fucking doing this. He really fucking hated everything. Like, he was a field person. That's how he wanted his life. And he was just like, I'm fucking stuck with these fuckers. I'm not with my normal people.
Errand boys. You're like, oh yeah, be a bouncer for my club. Go and get cherries for my drink.
Yeah, and that's what got me in trouble, was because he said I didn't know, and then that's when the sergeant part came in. He was like, you know it. I was like, and then he said that I have to keep an eye on you at all times, and I can't let you leave my sight. So I was like, no, you're sitting here, you're sleeping here, where I can see you, and you're like, but what the fuck? And I was like, orders, bitch. I am your superior, you're going to fucking listen. And that's the only thing I could actually pull, because it's like, fucking nothing else made sense.
Yeah,
everything kept going back and forth.
Even more boring, because we didn't have freedom to do anything.
Yeah, and like we had to be back by a certain time, and if I'm correct, like one of our, like, we had to finish a mission, but if we didn't finish the mission, we had to finish it and then come back. But yeah, fucking confusion. But that's for another video. We have to go in depth on that campaign. But this is the end of the video, because I have to hit work at like, probably now I'm going to be possibly 5 minutes late. I'm going to be way more than 5 minutes late. So I'm Brandon Wynn.
I'm Edward Burns.
See ya.
Last time.